Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Thirsty Topics.
Yeah.
I'm your guy, Lawrence.
And I am your girl Meryl. I almost said I'm your guy Meryl, but no, for now I'm the girl Meryl.
We have a great show today.
Yes,
Meryl,
we
I'm going to
do.
let you start off.
Okay, before my actual topics, I want to fill you in. Last night I had a really fun night. Have you ever heard of the show have you heard of Vanderpump Rules?
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, okay. So this was like, you and I didn't really get to cover the whole Vanderpump Rules drama because by the time we started working together, that had kind of blown over. But last night I went to a here in Los Angeles, the two Toms of the show. There's two Toms in Vanderpump Rules, and they own a bar and restaurant called Schwartz and Sandy's. And I went to it with some friends, and it was so fun and cool. And Tom Sandoval was there, and like despite all the
Nice.
crazy stuff about him, I have to say he was really nice and the food was really good.
Oh,
So
you had a chance to actually meet him?
yeah, he was. Yeah, one of my friends works with him, like in that restaurant, in the restaurant space. So she brought him over to our table because she knew that there was a bunch of just Vanderpump fans, and it was really like he was really really nice. I know he's been in a lot of drama and everything, but I thought he was really cool and nice. So yeah,
Oh, that was cool.
and the food there is really good. They have like different takes on everything, like corn dogs, but it's lobster corn dogs, and
Mm.
uh, everything is fancy. Somehow, for like dinner and a drink, I ended up paying $76. But I mean, that's this morning. I was like, I had one espresso martini and like a corn dog. I don't understand how I paid like $80 with including a tip. But despite all that, it's really fun because you get to watch the show. Like they live stream Vanderpump Rules as it's happening, and then the cast is
Oh,
there,
wow.
so it's funny
Nice.
because at some point people were like booing and then clapping, and it's a very funny thing. So it was very
Oh, no,
cool,
that is pretty cool.
isn't it? So that was my pre-topic, but my first real topic, um, another controversial figure is JoJo Siwa, which is it's so funny how like perturbed she makes people. Um, I mean, there's many different stories with her going on right now. The main one that I wanted to bring up is that she released not too long ago, about a week ago, her song Karma, and it went viral for many reasons. A lot of people were making fun of the dance moves. Um, a lot of people were also questioning her announcing that she's in her bad girl era, because like bad girls don't really have to like trumpet the fact that you're in your bad girl era, you just are. But the number one thing that this was kind of known for is that the original singer of this song, Britt Smith, released this song. Like, she released this song now as well because this was her original song, and now that original song is doing better on the charts than JoJo's version. Um,
Mm.
which I mean, here, my thoughts is that I feel like with JoJo, the way I do about J Lo is that I have a soft spot for them. Like,
Mhm.
I think I have a soft spot for like celebrities that people hate on, because to me, like, I don't mind if JoJo's a little delusional. Like, I think she's cute and adorable, and like she's just doing the best she can, and she's entertaining people. Um, I do think it probably gets messy with someone that originally wrote the song, but I mean, JoJo's not like the only one that let this one come out. There's like producers, agents, like by the time it
Mhm.
gets out on the radio, there's like many executives and other people that have to like make the decision to push the song through. Um, so I guess my first question for you is, you're not secretly making fun of JoJo's dances, are you?
No, 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 no.
Okay,
I
good.
gotta admit it definitely was eye popping.
It is eye popping, and she's a little bit cringy, but I feel like she knows she is, and she owns it. And that I don't, and you have to give someone credit for that. Who's just like, she was a child star since she was teeny weeny. She wore bows all the time, but it's like the girl has been selling out arenas since she didn't really have like a normal upbringing, and I feel like for what her life probably was, she seems like the best version that could have come out of that weird universe, you know?
Yeah, I think she's trying to make the break from, the innocent girl to,
Mm-hmm.
coming into her own, and because it is hard when you see, someone kind of grow up in their craft and become an adult because you still see them as their previous self. So sometimes, they do these in your face type, performances or things to kind of shock you into, okay, I'm an adult now. I'm no longer a little kid. So
Yeah. And she still does stuff like her car has her face completely wrapped on it. So like,
mhm.
there's like a million like the Jojo Siwa mobile. And so it's like when you're trying to be a bad girl, I think she's gonna have to leave behind some of the like state fair, looking aesthetic. But
Mhm.
I love it. But I also think yeah, it's just like I feel bad for her because I feel like she released the song, everyone was making fun of her for the dances, and then now that definitely is embarrassing that the original singer puts the song out, and almost out of spite, the song like skyrockets now. And I don't know. I feel like people are doing that just to make her feel bad, but I don't know. Of course, we want the original singer to get her due, but like, I don't know. I'm Team JoJo. I'm a horrible person.
No, no, no. I mean, there's a lot of great songs that are remakes that most people aren't even aware of.
Yeah,
And sometimes the originals do well, sometimes the remakes do well. There's really no way of knowing.
right, right. And it's like sometimes you need to have the star power to like push a song. That's just how, unfortunately the music business is. But
So true. That is so, so true. But I do wish her continued success, though.
me too. If the JoJo Mobile cuts me off in traffic, I'll beep. I'll beep to the rhythm of karma.
There you go.
Which she's also missing a big opportunity of like karma because she has her big car like driving. So I'm like, she needs to do some like marketing strategy about that. But and I mean, she dances weirdly, but she's like a wonderful, fantastic dancer. So even if her moves are kind of cheesy and geeky, like I just think she's so talented. So I feel
Oh
like she
yeah.
does have some of that effect though that J Lo has had, where people see someone that is like so confident and so full of their own decisions and like aspirations that they love to drag them down. And I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't like that. I feel like there's other people we can make fun of.
Nope, I hear you 100%.
Okay, good.
Well, for mine, I'm going to go a little bit out of order because I want to do a fun one.
Yay.
Depending on how you feel, some people may cheer, some people may feel sad, but the Golden Bachelor couple only lasted 3 months.
Uh-huh.
Now, I have to admit, I was totally shocked because I thought,
Really?
okay, they're older, they kind of know what they want, they have a much more realistic chance of making it work. So I have to admit, I was very shocked as well. What about you?
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, so on the show, did you see them having like a really good rapport? Like when they finally chose when he chose I forget, is it Gary or Jerry? I think it's Gary, right?
Mhm.
I think when Gary chose Teresa, were you like, oh yeah, I could have seen this coming, or were you surprised?
Very surprised because I guess I was surprised in the fact that, okay, I could see him, and there was actually two or three that I could realistically see him with
Yeah,
based
yeah.
on the chemistry. But I was surprised that he picked her. That part
Right.
surprised me.
Me
So I'm like,
too.
okay, maybe he sees something that we don't see, and that's fine.
That's what I thought too, because by the time they announced their marriage, I was like, there must be some behind the scenes stuff that we don't see because I didn't really see
Yes.
them having like everlasting chemistry together.
Yes.
And I don't know if you've seen it, but there's like the most recent interview, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, but it is so tense where they're talking about how they can't make it work with like she's still working and he wants to just be fancy free and retired and go all over the place. And like the just like the crazy dynamic, and it feels like really a tense interview, and it feels like they're both kind of like you could tell that a dissolution was already happening pretty much, because like I think he just wants her to be able to go on a whim anywhere she wants, and she was saying, well, you knew this, I had a job and I have a family, and like I will be able to do that, but I need a few more years. So but they
Shouldn't
just
they
seem like
kind of, I don't know, talked about that
talked about
before?
that. Yeah. So a lot of people are saying that like they're acting almost worse than the 20-year-old bachelors of like not actually talking about stuff.
Yeah. Now, to me, with an older couple, one of the big problems is sometimes people get set in their ways and they're not
Mm-hmm.
as flexible.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if that's kind of playing some part to this as well too.
I know. And I could see both sides where like I could see Gary being like, life is short. We just found each other. I could see him not wanting to just sit around all day. And it's like she's probably worked at a career for many, many years, and like, why not go travel and have fun? They probably could make enough money doing it. But I also could see her side where it's like maybe you just want to finish up like 6 or 7 more years of a career and then be able to go out. So that's a tough one, but that definitely seems like something they should have talked about.
I would have thought that, maybe that was like one of the first things, being that, you're obviously meeting all these people to marry them. So,
Yeah. They also, this is after I just defended JoJo for people for being mean to her. This is going to sound catty, but like, I also feel like with those two, I could see Gary and Teresa having like a very like if they're fighting, I feel like it's not pretty. Like I could see them being both like very weird and stressed out. Like they're kind of more annoying together than apart to me. Like it's almost like they make each other like 15% less likable.
That's true. I think you got a good point, because I don't know. It's just, I think Teresa can really let loose if she wanted to and really rip into him. I just get that vibe. I don't know if I'm right or not, but I just get that vibe.
No, I bet you're right. Yeah. Because even the way on her interview when she was like, I can't just leave. I actually have a job and responsibilities. And like, she was making it sound like, okay, playboy who could just go anywhere. And, but I'm not surprised, but I have faith that they'll do a better job at the Golden Bachelor, because I think this was a good one to just get it started. But I feel like if they continue on with that part of the franchise, it can go like really well and be really beautiful.
I agree. And, it will be interesting if they did a Golden Bachelorette.
Yeah.
It will be interesting to see how that dynamic goes.
Definitely. Absolutely. It's funny too, because I think a lot of the bachelors, like the younger ones, it's like when they go together, they almost all of them move to like New York or LA together, because all of a sudden they're both like, we're famous, and they go there. But it's like when you have the Golden Bachelor, not necessarily. So you're dealing with people that are in like North Carolina, and so so yeah, I think that's kind of exciting. But yeah, it's fun yet sad to watch their final interviews together, because you could tell they're like fighting through the camera.
Well, like I said, I wish him the best.
I wish him the best. Don't you think? I think Gary's going to be out, and I think in about 8 minutes he'll have a new girlfriend. I think he's like a playboy. I see him out on the field.
This may sound crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe some of the women that he didn't pick reach out to him.
Yeah. There was the one, I think it was Leslie. Maybe it was like, that was one of the ones who I could have seen him with. She was the one that really got me at the reunion, where she seemed like so upset, like they really had a connection. And honestly, Leslie's almost what he's looking for, because she was ready to just like go and have fun, But actually, I think she might have been the one that didn't want to move because her horse's remains were in the ground. You see that one? She didn't want to like go too far away from her dead horse. So it looks like he needs to find someone that's retired.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
It will be fun. Yep. But yeah, Teresa's on the market now, boys. Okay, my topic. This seems like something that Gary and Teresa will be doing. The trend of sleep divorce, which is which, I mean, we've been hearing for a while now. I don't know why we need a term like calling it sleep divorce, but an article came out, Carson Daly, saying that his wife, for years and years, they've been successfully, married, but sleeping in separate bedrooms and beds. And then it was in People magazine. They talked all about the trend of this, people just accepting this, like more in the 50s and 60s and 70s, like more couples always were in the same bed together. Now it's becoming a little bit more just normal for couples to still be happy, but like sleep in different beds or rooms. How do you feel about this?
I think that's incredibly weird, to be honest with you.
Oh, this is going to be good. Okay, good.
I mean, me and my wife has always slept in the same bed, except for like, let's say if she slept over her mom's house, she went to visit her mom, or let's say we fall asleep down in the family room and, we're in our recliners. Yep. Outside of that, we sleep in the same bed. Even with our dogs that jump in the bed in between us. I just think it's kind of weird. It's just me,
Yeah. No, that's that's healthy.
I mean, I think if you're sleeping in a separate bedroom, what's next? You're gonna go on vacation separately? You know,
Yeah. Well, that is I'm definitely part of the weird territory where like that happened in a relationship where we in a we just had different sleep schedules, so we started sleeping in different
oh,
like
okay,
rooms.
okay.
But then it really did lead to like we didn't pay attention to then like making sure there was still connection time, and like that really almost was the beginning of the end
Wow.
in terms of like making sure it was right. But I feel like I could be part of the sleep divorce family because I just feel like for some reason I get way I mean I don't know, like I'm an only child, and like there's something about having my own space that I feel like I need, even if it's with a partner. I totally get it, and I think it's so cute when couples sleep together, but like I feel like I get claustrophobic sometimes. But I have some friends, like one of my favorite married couple friends is so cute, where like she was saying that she doesn't feel like calm unless she's sleeping with her husband and he has his like mouth guard in, and they're like doing their little nighttime, and they sleep in like a little twin bed, or they're like kind of mice in a little bed
Wow.
together. I know.
Now that's close.
Yeah. They still, and my parents still sleep in bed together, and I'm like, I always think that's so sweet. But I don't know. Ever since every single like partner I've had, I've always kind of felt this like I need to be separate. But
Yeah,
that's
we've
I
always
I agree. That's weird. It's an issue.
yeah, we've always had a queen or king size bed. I mean, to sleep in a twin bed, two adults,
Mhm.
that's super close. I mean, at least, with a queen or a king size bed, even if you guys are married with each other, okay, you can go on your end, I go on my end. We're still
Exactly.
safe.
Sometimes I'll Google like there's the Alaskan king bed, which like I need to be able to do like 3 cartwheels and not feel my partner. Or like if you like Shaquille O'Neal's bed was like the biggest, like it takes up
Oh
an
my,
entire living room. That's my dream bed.
that's a room. That's not a bed. That's a flat out
Yeah.
room. There was a picture with him, I kid you not, with him, his wife, and all their kids laying in that bed. It's so big.
Oh my gosh, that's my dream. I want to have to like call my partner and be like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "Oh, you're on the bed." But yeah, I think it's definitely possible, but I think it can't be a cover for like the relationship declining in terms of physical affection, or you almost have to work harder on that aspect, or like acknowledge what's happening. But I,
That's
I
true.
don't know. I think a lot of people sometimes just need to be alone to sleep, whether their partner snores or like
Mhm.
for scheduling purposes. But I do think if you decide on that, you do have to like communicate almost, like triple about it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think you're right. The communication is so important.
Yeah.
Um, because if you're sleeping separate because you know you're on different schedules, one person maybe snores a little bit too much.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
one thing, but you don't want to start sleeping in a different room if there's problems because all it's going to do is make it worse to me.
Yes. Absolutely.
But to each his own, I guess.
Exactly. There's weirder things. But let's it's your
um,
next topic.
Actually, my next topic actually is a pretty good one. It's actually an update on the conversation that we had last week. This is regarding Shohei Otani's translator.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it turns out that I thought he stole like 4 million. I was way off. He stole over 16 million from him, and he's in trouble. I guess he's working out a deal to turn himself in with all the gambling debt and stuff. And I guess he part of the way because I'm like, how do you steal $16 million from someone?
Yeah.
And I guess what they're saying is that um, and this is why you shouldn't let everyone have access to your accounts personally. But I guess he went into his accounts and he turned off the alerts. So in other words, as he's taking money out, um, uh, Shohei
What the
didn't know.
heck? Oh my
And
gosh. What
when they
isn't Shohei checking it
investigated,
though?
hmm,
Like wouldn't Shohei see like, oh, I'm down $1 million? I mean,
but that tells me he doesn't. Because see, the thing I noticed that there's some people when they get a lot of money, and I get it. They have people managing stuff. Well,
yeah.
to me, there's certain things, in my personal opinion, you should manage yourself, and that's your money. Now, as my accountant,
100%.
you may tell me, okay, do this and do that, but I'm going to be the one physically doing the money work.
Yes. Or like it, or manage the person that's managing your money, like know your dollar amount in your account and check periodically.
Mm-hmm. But you know, the authorities said that you know, the baseball player had nothing to do with it. He truly did not know what was going on.
Okay.
But I mean, that's
Wow.
a lot of money. I don't care how much money. That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money, and that's so heartbreaking that that's like your trusted best friend who you worked with. The fact that Shohei gave his translator like the job of a lifetime, pretty much. You know, like he had the best job that you could imagine, and then
Mm-hmm.
you did that to someone. Like that's because I really like I feel like there's a part of me that's like still skeptical that Shohei didn't know, but at this point, I feel like it would come out if he knew because he's like tripling down on his if that was a lie. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of feel sorry for him because, you know, when you're blessed like that, you
Yeah.
already are looking over your shoulder because you don't know who to trust. But then when someone very close to you does that to you, I mean, that's got to shatter your
Yes.
you know, your faith in mankind at all. Because it's like, well, if I can't trust this guy and he's supposed to be one of my best friends, well, who the hell can I trust then?
Yeah, and that's such like a stupid thing too to be I don't know, something as shallow as betting too, to be like taking the money and just filtering it into kind of something that's like not even that can get him even more trouble, you know? That's just such a weird thing.
And you're
And the
right.
thing is I bet yeah.
Oh no, I was going to say, I'm quite sure he was making a damn good salary doing this
Yeah,
too.
that's what I was just gonna say. Exactly. I was gonna say if he like that's so greedy because it's like I'm sure he had his own salary that he could sliver off like 50 grand a year, you know, for just betting, gambling, whatever he wanted to do, and still be like that wouldn't even be a drop in the bucket for him.
Hmm.
That is just crazy. So this guy, I'm sorry, did the article say he's going to plead guilty or it's oh he
Yeah,
is?
he's going to plead guilty, and I guess he's trying to work out a surrender right now,
Okay.
and I guess negotiate. But like I said, it's just sad because you know it takes away from Shohei's you know accomplishments. I mean, he's got this $700 million contract. He's doing really well, and it's overshadowed by this nonsense that his
Yeah.
interpreter did. You know.
Wow, that is weird. That's definitely like a scandal. But I've noticed that they on most of the baseball things, like it's more hushed down. I feel like they're trying not to like draw more attention to it, which is totally fine, you know.
Oh yeah, that's true. But you know, just shows you again, you got to really watch people. You know, if you got people watching your stuff, have people watching them too, and have somebody watching them as
Exactly.
well.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. And I feel like I've heard so many stories. Like Alanis Morissette is a musician I love, and she has this like I know she had a manager that stole from her all the time. Like he would just take a little off the top, and she always talks about that. I've always heard of music stars like once they're I think Shania Twain had that happen too with like her ex husband or something, where a lot of these people it's like the most inside person that you trust is who's which I don't know why the translator has like all the Shohei's bank details because it's like that's not his
Exactly. Yeah,
manager. Yeah. Aw, it makes me so sad just him not knowing, but
that's true.
well, we'll follow that. And then it's like, where's he gonna work after the translator? Like once he gets out of work, who's gonna want to hire him?
That's very true. Hopefully, he's got some money stashed because you're right. No
Yeah,
one's going to trust him.
I'm not betting on him. Okay, well, my next topic, it's someone who I think needs to watch their own stuff, and that's Kristen Cavallari, reality and podcast star, who I actually think is really cool. I like her a lot. Uh, she is causing waves because she is dating a much younger man. So she's 37, and her new boyfriend, who is part of the Montana Boys on TikTok, which is like, you know, not my cup of tea at all, not my type of
Mhm.
man, but like whatever. She thinks he's really hot. That's what matters. But he's 24 and it is causing a stir. My take on it is like to me it's less of the age thing because I don't care about like as long as everyone is like safe and legal and whatever, like it's to me it's less about the age, but like and I don't of course I don't know this man in real life, but like just looking seeing a little bit of him online, I'm like, it doesn't really seem like he's at her level of just intelligence and maturity, but she knows him better. You know, I don't want to judge someone too much. Um, and he was just in a on a People magazine article, and he was like, he likes her because she like, his quote was like, she knows what's going on. And everyone's like, okay, like that's what you say about like your mom, is she knows what's going on. Like that's not why you love someone, you know. So I'm happy for her. Obviously, like, I think she's really cool, and I feel like it's also good sometimes for women to like buck against the stereotype of like, okay, well, a lot of men get away with dating younger women, but like, why can't dating be, you know, equal for women? But to me, it's a little concerning because he just kind of seems a little bit empty. But that's just me. That's my hot
You know,
take.
I kind of agree with you. I mean, if a guy does it, you know, it's kind of one of those things where people kind of like are used to it by now, and for whatever reason, when it's reversed, then it's like, ooh, what is she doing? Oh, she's a cougar,
Right.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
And
like,
maybe
you know
she
what?
wants someone like, yeah, I guess she said she was dating a lot of older men, and they were like just kind of curmudgeony and bringing her down. So it's like, of course, here's this young person that probably has a lot of energy and like has the energy to play with her kids, and like I get that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, teach his own. I mean, the one thing I do like the fact is he's over 21
Yeah, yeah,
because you know technically 18 you're an adult, but to me you're not really an adult because
right.
there's a lot you don't know. So I guess if he was 18 and she was 30 something, I would have a
Oh my
problem with
gosh.
that.
Yeah, that would be like so weird if someone was like just getting out of high school, or like, yeah, that would be like very very weird.
Yeah, and again, people go, well, 18 they're legal. Yeah, but mentally they're not really an adult at 18.
Right. And if they can't even go into a bar to meet you, like it's like, oh, my boyfriend's gonna be waiting outside while we're in this restaurant, you know, like that's a little weird.
Exactly. But you know what? If she's happy, hey, roll with it, you know?
Yeah, yeah, roll with it. It's almost just like, and I know things aren't the way they seem online, but sometimes when I'm like, really, that's who you're gonna choose? But it's like, you know, we don't really know people at all, and everyone's looking for different types of things. So,
And you know what? For all we know, she may not want a serious relationship. She may want to have some
right,
fun, you know,
definitely.
because the mentality of a 24-year-old versus a 38-year-old, night and day difference.
Totally. Have you seen any of the Montana Boys TikToks?
Yeah, I'll see.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's just like, I mean, good for them. They figured out a way to make millions, or they have millions of followers. They just like walk in a line and show their faces, and like it's just it's weird. I mean, it's not weird if you're like a 22-year-old girl, but I can't see being like the age, because I'm close to her age, but just like I can't see being like, yeah, that's the man for me. But it's just whatever. It's cool.
Hey, there's not a lot that could please that she needs, right? At least right now.
Yeah, yeah. And I listened to her podcast, and she was saying a lot of the hate that she does get, she feels like it's from a lot of women that are like upset in their own lives, like they're not happy with their husbands, they're not, you know, so they see Kristen like out there looking good with like a young man, and it riles them up. But like, to me, I'm more riled up that I'm like, I feel like she's deeper than that. Like I you know, but she's dating like a beautiful man, so good for her. I can't.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, there's this thing out now that high school kids do. When you graduated from high school, did your class do anything over the top crazy, you know, for your senior year?
No, we weren't allowed. Not that we weren't allowed, but they told us like, no, you know, no stealing any pigs for mascots. No, no doing anything crazy. I think we went to like on a class trip, but it was kind of almost geeky to do that. So no, we didn't do anything crazy.
Yeah, we didn't do anything either. And I guess now every class every year now, for whatever reason, wants to do
Really?
something crazy. And there's this thing that's going on in a lot of the suburbs over here where I'm at. It's called it's called the Senior Assassins game. And
Okay.
basically what it is, it's like they play like they're hunting each other down, okay? But you know, they're shooting each other with water guns. Now, the problem with this game is one, some of these water guns look like real guns.
Really?
Yeah. And they're they're kind of acting like, you know, they're like hunting people down, so they have like masks on, hoodies, stuff like that.
Oh,
And it's starting to get a little dangerous. One time, there was these kids that came in, and I guess they were going to ambush some other kids again, playing the game Assassins. But people in the restaurant didn't know what was going on. And one of the kids, pulled out, the water gun that looked like a real gun.
oh no.
Well, there was a customer in there that has a concealed carry license, which means
Oh
they
my
can they
gosh.
can carry their gun.
Yep.
So luckily, the waitress saw what was potentially about to happen and let the customer know that they're just playing. You know, it,
Yeah, it's
it's
fake.
not a
It's
real
not a real
gun
gun.
because
Right.
she saw he was about to pull his real gun out. That could have been very catastrophic. You know,
Yes. Now, is this game on foot or in cars? Like, do they?
the sad part is both. In fact, there was
Oh,
another group of kids that was chasing some other kids, which I think this is over the top, and they flipped their vehicle over. To me, this is not fun. This is just stupid.
yeah. I know. That's just sad that I'm not sad, but in this day and age, that's just like not something that can happen anymore. People wearing masks and guns, and I think it's just like the landscape has changed, and I feel like that needs to almost go back to like some type of, I don't know whether it's getting water guns that look absolutely like nothing like real guns, like where it's like
Mm-hmm.
so glaringly obvious that they're like toy guns,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
but like no masks, no hood, no hoodies, like that kind of thing. Um, which is sad that they have to do that, but that's just like that is what's happening now.
Yeah, and to me, it's so stupid because, I get it. You want to do something over the top, crazy for your last year,
Yeah,
but they're not thinking of the consequences of what they're doing. Because
right.
a great example is that restaurant. If that waitress hadn't stepped in and he pulled his gun out
Oh
again, it could have
yeah.
been catastrophic. You know.
Absolutely. I could totally see that. Even just in the neighborhood, if someone is like seeing kids running across their yard having a gun with a hood on, someone could think that that's like a burglar, or,
Yes.
and shoot them. And then what's the like, and then is it like if you get shot with a water gun, then you're just out? Like, is it kind of okay? So it's
Mm-hmm.
almost like, I get it. It's like, not like we need to go back to good natured things like toilet papering the TV and the tree.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just think that sometimes the simple stuff is the best stuff because, you
Yeah.
know, can you imagine a parent getting a phone call about your kid being hurt or killed because they played this stupid game? You know?
No. Yep. No, that's true. I mean, did you just see, this isn't even one of my topics, but I saw that clip of the person in the mall, the like, he ended up getting shot, but like the guy in a mall that was like in Australia that was attacking people with the machete. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like it had someone that was schizophrenic and he killed people, but like his dad was on the news and his dad was crying, basically saying like this is the worst case scenario where like my son had a mental illness and obviously he went nuts and killed all these people and now he got shot, and it's just like, so I mean things like that are like why we also can't, like those kids now can't do the senior assassin in a mall, because it's like we have real people that are bringing knives and guns into malls and shooting it up, so
Oh yeah. I don't know. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with having fun, but you gotta, you have to really pay attention to what you're doing. And I think for the teachers, they really should pull these kids aside and be like, you guys need to stop this. And this is why,
yeah.
you know.
Definitely. I'm surprised
But
they're even going outside to play. I feel like they'd be on like Bitcoin or something, like whatever or like they're just like fighting with each other on Reddit. So a part of me is almost excited that they're doing like teenage outdoor things, but it's like you have to do something else that's more fun, like
and you know what? And I agree with you. If they were using a regular water gun, because a regular water gun is colorful, it's a toy
yeah,
gun.
like green and orange and yeah.
Yeah. But to purposely get a water gun that looks like a gun, you're playing with fire.
Yeah, you really are. I saw one article too that was just saying like even the name, basically they were saying like, well, let's just change the name of this game, but it's like, yeah, I think it's not the name per se. It's like the fact that they're running around and it could be very dangerous to look like you're carrying a real gun.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm just glad my son didn't do that.
I know. And wait, how old's your son again? Did you say this on here, or is that secret?
No, he'll be 20 next month.
20. Okay.
Yeah. So they didn't
And
have it when he graduated a couple years ago. So this is something I guess that's new this year.
okay. Also, give it a few years, and he'll be Kristen Cavallari will be he'll be dating age for a nice 37-year-old. What would you do if he came home and he's like, "This is my girlfriend," and she's like 38?
You know what? Whatever makes him happy, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah. I look at it that way. So
that's good. You wouldn't play senior assassin on her? No.
nah. My wife may go crazy, but nah.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Oh my gosh. Um, but yeah, I think kids should have fun and be outside, but like make it more obvious and good natured.
Exactly.
Well, let's see. I have one more topic. Just to follow up from, oh, I really want to also cover this. Well, for anyone, I don't have the article now, but I just saw before we logged on that like the conjoined twins that we talked about, Abby
Yes.
and whatever, they just put out like a an update because everyone was asking them about their sex life, and so one of them or both of them made a statement of like, you want to know how it goes down, here it is, and they like spell it out. So very long story short is they were saying like, yes, obviously the other sister is there, like attached to the main one, but the main one is not part of the act. And she's while it happens, she's either reading a book or listening to a true crime podcast. So
One, I am very shocked that they even addressed it.
I
And then
know.
and then two, come on now. If without being graphic,
I
how
know, I
can
know, I know.
how can one do it and the other one not feel it? I'm
I don't
just saying.
understand. And also like one hand is attached to one of them. So it's like is everyone doing this one-handed, or like, yeah, I don't know what's happening, but yeah, that is so funny where she almost said some things and I'm like, well, now I have even more questions. Like she answered something and I'm like, wait, we have 50 more questions, but good for them for answering. And they were saying like, what if the other one finds love? Then they're going to have to sleep on like one of those Alaska Shaquille O'Neal beds, and have like one husband, the two of them. Like it's going to.
Wow. That would make one great X-rated video. No, I'm just kidding.
Right? I know. Really, I think I don't want to see it. It would disgust me too much. But good for them. But that wasn't even my topic. But my last topic is that a follow up where, here in Los Angeles or Southern California, it is Coachella when it comes into town. It's like a really big deal here, and I kind of talked some smack on it last week, just saying that I felt like I had aged out of the festival. I didn't really know any of the artists, and I have to say, like now it being a week later and seeing the first of the two weekends, from what I've heard, I didn't go to the festival personally, but I watched it on the live stream and I had a bunch of friends that went. And I'm like very surprised. And I think it was actually a really cool festival. Um, and they had a whole bunch, like No Doubt was definitely one of the highlights for everyone. And they had Olivia Rodrigo come out. Billie Eilish was there, like more than everyone was expecting. And then in the crowd, like Justin Bieber and Taylor Swift were there. And from what I've heard from friends that were there, like all like the side parties and everything were arranged like perfectly. And I felt like everything, from what I heard, like it went really smoothly. So I stand corrected. I feel like Coachella is back and being cool.
Wow, they have some really nice artists there.
Yeah. And even just the fact that like Taylor Swift was there hanging out and Justin Bieber was there hanging out, I feel like a lot of these people just legitimize that it's not dead, and that it's like, I think they had a lot of age. Oh, like Lana Del Rey was one of the artists and she had Billie Eilish come and join her. And I think this year proved to have more of like an age range than I thought was expected. I thought it was just like going to be for 22, your son's age of things, but I think it was cool.
Yeah, that is cool. It almost sounds similar to, it's called Lollapalooza over in
Yeah,
Chicago. So it sounds like it's similar to that.
absolutely. That's a good reference because I think it is exactly like that, where it's like people that are young and it's their first festival, they can go to it, but then people that are in like their 30s and 40s,
Yep.
it's like you'll have more fun than you think you will, I think, once you go.
Oh yeah. And it's obviously they're gonna have the main artist that everyone knows, but then you also have a lot of artists you've never heard of that you discover while you're there too.
Yeah. And remember, I told you last week that I have some friends, I'm not going to call them out personally, but I have some friends that like drive to Coachella, get their outfits on, and then basically take a picture like at the festival and drive back home to LA. And like, I could always tell which ones do that because I can tell if someone takes a picture and they're not in the actual festival, but they're just like outside on the grass.
Mhm.
So funny.
Like, hey, I'm at Coachella, and you're looking like, no, you're not.
Yeah, they're like best weekend ever, and I'm like, you went outside in your backyard. This is not a real festival, but
Nice, nice.
and I can't believe the crazy influencer parties too. Like Kourtney Kardashian's brand Poosh has a like an activation there called Camp Poosh that all these influencers go to. But one of my
Mm,
friends went to it and she was saying you get like full size products. They do your hair. There's like $20
wow.
smoothies. You know, I feel like the influencers are people that need all this stuff the least, but like I feel like they're all bringing their game. Where like Megan Fox is going to one place, and you know, and so I don't know. It seems like it's fun and just a cool thing.
Oh, absolutely. I think one year maybe I may try it out.
Do it. Maybe next year we manifest that we like live stream from there or something.
You know what? That may be cool. I may like that.
Right?
That would be cool.
Exactly.
Maybe we could get the whole Elrod TV network family to go over there and have a
Yeah.
big party.
100%. A lot of podcasts do live stream from there, and like it's very cool. Whoops, that's my alarm, but we're good.
Okay. Well, I know we're about to let out. I do want to say one thing. Actually, a couple of things. First, I actually was interviewed on this podcast called The Momentum Shift by Eric
Ooh.
Collier. And Eric actually texted me yesterday. And I found out that the interview that he did with me is it was the most listened to podcast that he's had. I thought that was pretty
Yeah.
cool. So
Whoa.
just wanted to throw
Say
a
again.
shout out to Eric
Yeah.
and say thank you for having me on the show, and thank you for letting me know that, and I'm really appreciative for all the listeners that listened to our interview because I thought it was a pretty good interview. So I always believe in supporting people who support me. So for the people watching here, definitely check out the Momentum Shift on our major podcast networks, and listen to the interview that I had with him. It was a good interview.
That's so cool. Give us like a little takeaway from it, or like what was your favorite? Was it about? I'm guessing it's like about success and like motivation and that kind of stuff, or
Basically, what we talked about was me, how I got into this, what motivates me, what I look for and stuff. And I guess my takeaway from it was, no matter what's going on in your life, if you have a dream, follow that dream. Don't let anything take you off course. And just know that, there's a lot of no's, there's a lot of knockdowns, but always get back up. Don't let anything take you away from where your heart and where you're being led to. If you have something that you feel that strongly about, go for it. What's the worst you can do? You know?
I love that.
So that's the way I look at it. I've always said this that if no one wants to open up any doors, I'll build my own house and open up as many doors as I need.
I love that. What if my dream is just knowing more about the conjoined twin sex life?
Hey, it's a dream.
Maybe I'll be the premier journalist in that field.
I might want to make a movie about them too, because I
Do
am really,
it.
I am really shocked that they addressed the sex part of that.
I know. I am too. You know, too. I'm like not trademarking this, but my friend had this idea. So, but I'm telling you, but if anyone else also, but like my friend posted that there needs to be a documentary about window washers if there hasn't been already. Like, the guys that are up really high in the buildings and like
Hmm.
they're like in, these huge buildings and the window washers. I'm like, I think that would be such a good documentary topic. And I would totally like be so interested and watch that.
They should do it.
I know they should. Isn't that interesting?
And I'm quite sure they have seen some stuff over the years.
I know, exactly, and just, like, how do you get that how do you audition for that job basically and, like, some of the scary things, and I feel like jobs like that where people go, like, so physically high for their job, whether it's, like, a tower person or a window person, that's just, like, so different to me, and I don't know, window washing is still that's, like, a very crazy job, like, being that high in New York City or that high in Chicago, that's a I would love to watch a documentary about it. So.
Oh yeah. And then how they stay calm when it's a windy day. Ooh.
Oh my gosh, when it's like swinging and stuff. Yeah. So maybe after the Conjoined Twin documentary, you can get to window washing. That'd be
There
really
you
nice.
go.
With a full roster of just like weird, crazy topics.
Oh man, this was so much fun.
I know.
Well, everyone, make sure that you continue to watch us and support us. We had so much fun, and we're definitely looking forward to you guys coming back next week to watch us. And also, don't forget to tune in to LrodTVNetwork.com, not only for the live streams, but we're also going to have new episodes of Thirsty Conversations coming pretty soon, as well as taping is going to be starting pretty soon for my new cooking show as well, too.
Yeah.
So lots going to be happening in a short period of time. I am Lawrence Elrod.
And I am Meryl Climo.
Everyone have a wonderful